What up, y'all? Back with another group home story time, part 4. So, Mr. Joe, he like the super cop. So he doing a little weird stuff. He wanting to smell our fingertips and smell, our clothes and our hair and stuff like that. So he goes to grab my hand and I snatch my hand back. Then he grabbed my shirt, so I like pushed him off of me. So then he pushed me. I stumbles back and I fall. I fall on the ground. Get up, and I go running at him, and I tackle him on the ground, and I got him in a headlock. He on the ground, I got him in a headlock. It takes Tate, Lil Steve, which was cornbread, and Tone from the group home. They trying to pull me off of him, but I got him in a headlock. I'm talking about I'm squeezing, just nigga, where the fuck you put your hands on me, bitch ass nigga? So soon as he get up, he goes immediately, call Mr. Lorenzo, tell Mr. Lorenzo that I just put my hands on him. Mr. Lorenzo get there. Mr. Lorenzo asks what's going on, and I'm telling him, hey man, he grabbing on us, and he's saying that we smell like weed and all of this, which was a lie. So Mr. Lorenzo smell our shirts and stuff like that. We don't smell like no weed. Mr. Joe, now he lying. He adding extra stuff. He told Mr. Lorenzo that if I see him out in public, that I was gonna kill him or unalive, my bad, that I was gonna unalive him and have him jump. Telling Mr. Lorenzo he lying, blah, blah, blah. So Mr. Lorenzo calls my mom, and now he's asking my mom, cause she come and get me early, which I was already getting ready to end the program in like probably like a week, 2 more weeks. So she's telling him, that she could come get me or whatever. By the time she get there, Mr. Lorenzo want me to finish out my last couple of days at school and stuff, because school was going to end that Friday anyway. So Mr. Lorenzo want me to finish out my last couple of days. So he makes an agreement with my mom that Saturday morning that she could come and pick me up, and they'll go ahead and just let me out of the program, which I was going to be getting out the program in the next couple of weeks anyway. So she like, okay, she leaves. Next morning, it's like Tuesday or Wednesday. Next morning, go to school, everything fine, making money, whatever, chilling with all the people at school. At this point, now I like being at school more than I even like being at the group home, because now they got a tight rope on me, man. I can't do nothing in there. Like, every time I go to get in the shower, they checking my room. Anytime that we going on an outing, one of the employees is back at the residence checking my room out. Like, no breathing room. Friday get here, it's the end of school. Everybody, they happy, but then they not happy because their plug, which was me, was getting ready to leave, and I wasn't going to be coming back for the next school year. Everybody, we just hanging out. We don't got to go to class that day. It was very different there. No class, we just hung out in the gymnasium all day, just chilling. Student parking lot. Everybody out there walking around from the different cars and stuff like that, just mingling. School resource officer walks up on me. And he's like, hey, Chris, you give any thought to staying at our school? We'd sure like to have you. So I'm like, yeah, I talked it over with my mom. My mom she don't want to make the commit to bringing me to school every day. And, she'd just rather me go back to my school in my neighborhood. He's like, okay, well, if you change your mind, just let one of us know, or let the counselor at your group home know, and they can reach back out to us, and we can see about doing something about making sure you get back and forth to school every day. All right, cool. So in the school, get here, they let us out early. I think we left about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Normally we leave about 3:34. So we get back to the group home. Everybody excited because, now everybody's getting ready to go home for the weekend, and, ain't no school, so everybody excited. Me and Tay just in the room chopping it up. Tay didn't go to the house that night. He had his grandma come and get him that Saturday too when I left out because I wasn't going home Friday, being that my mom was coming to get me Saturday. So I'm packing up all my stuff. Me and Tay just at the crib. Miss Terry get there. Now, I had never turned Tay on to chilling with Mr. Terry or Mr. Issa and stuff like that. That was just strictly a me thing. So, being that Tay stayed there with me to help me pack up and stuff and just kick it with me. We might not see each other. Even though we in the same city, we might not see each other no more. So he kicking. Mr. Terry come to relieve Issa for second shift. So Terry come in the room with me and he like, yo, what's up? Why Tay stay? I'm like, Tay good, man. Tay just stayed with me just to keep me company. He was like, yeah, Mr. Lorenzo was telling me that they do your program tomorrow. He was like, man, yeah, I got to get your number before you leave. I'm like, yeah. So later on that night roll around, Mr. Terry ready to smoke now. So he come tap on the door. Tay had his own room, but he let us stay up and stuff. Tay in the living room. So Terry come and knock on my door. He come in and he like, hey man, what we gonna do about smoking? Or you just trying to give me something so I can step outside? I was like, man, look, bro, real cool. He ain't gonna really say nothing. I ain't trying to throw him under the bus, but I'm like, man, he got his own little action in here too. Like you might want to holler at him because, he got his own little action going too. So he like, do he smoke? And I'm like, yeah, he smoke. So he like, look, give me like 20 minutes and y'all boys come outside. So I go in the living room. I'm telling Tay, I'm like, yo, you trying to smoke? He like, yeah, I'm going to smoke. I'm like, look, bro, Terry cool. Issa cool too. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta approach them on your own time. But, I just told Terry that you smoke. And he was like, cool, y'all can come outside and smoke because I be smoking with Terry. He like, what? I was like, hell yeah. He was like, man, that's what you be doing. I be hearing y'all at night, but I ain't know if it was you. Y'all like, yeah, I've been, doing this pretty much since I got here. So we all go outside, we laughing and talking and smoking and stuff. And, we all just out there vibing. So Mr. Terry girl ended up calling and when she was getting ready to bring him something to eat. And Terry looked at me and was like, you hungry? And I was like, yeah. He was like, my girl getting ready to get some McDonald's. You got you some money on you. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, all right, well, I'm going to just get her to come here and write y'all orders down so you can give her the money. And she going to bring y'all some McDonald's back. Cool. So she comes, get the order, leaves, come back. Now we all out there smoking. Me, Mr. Terry, his girl, Tay. We just chilling. Whole time, I keep looking at her because I know her, but I don't know her. So she say, don't you go to Dudley? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, I remember you my last year. You had just got there. Then you fight Ishmael. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I remember you, your ass, bad as hell. I ain't surprised to see you in here. So I'm thinking like, hold on. She went to Dudley with me. How old is she? So I'm thinking she said it was her last year. So she's 19. I'm 16. Mr. Terry young too, though. Mr. Terry went number like 22, 23, maybe 24 max. So now Terry kind of looking sideways like, oh, so you actually really was, known out there before you got to the group home and stuff. His girl leaves. Me, Tay, and Terry just sitting in the living room, watching TV and stuff, chopping it up. And he like, yeah, man, bro, you're going to have to give me your number before you leave and stuff, man. I'll still come through. Like, I'll be a mentor. I'll still come through and kick it with you and stuff. Days that I ain't at work or in school. And I'm like, cool. Tay like, man, yeah, you're going to have to let me get your number too, bro. I'm going to have to come and kick it with you when I get my home passes. I'm cool. So the next morning roll around. Mr. Lorenzo come through. I'm packing, I got all my stuff packed up. He done called my mom, told my mama that it was okay for her to come and get me. Tay, grandma, ended up coming maybe like 30 minutes before my mama pulled up. So Tay done dipped out. We like, all right, bro, I'm going to holler at you. I'll see you when I see you. So Mr. Lorenzo sitting there and was like, yeah, Chris, the program was ended for you anyway. I hate that you had to go this way. Everybody's going to miss you around here. You was the life of the party, even though you started getting a little bit mannish at the end. So Mr. Lorenzo started crying, and you my first residence, and you're going to make a big impact on me for the rest of my life because I always remember you. And, I want to keep in contact with you. You could end up being a mentor to the program where you come back. After about a year, you could come back and, I'll try to give you a summer job where you mentor. We ain't gonna have you watching none of the clients, but you could come and mentor, tell them about your experience and what have you been doing since you left the group home. And I'm like, cool. So that pretty much ends that story right there of, being in the group home. I was one of the first residents, and, that's how I got the knack for actually like selling the drugs and making the money, because I started off selling the weed, selling dope. That wasn't, I wasn't even thinking about selling dope then. It was just strictly weed. And I had learned how to, sell the pills through Tay and the white girl showing me like what certain pills was worth, and you got to do whatever the milligram is. You cut that in half, and that's what you charge them. So if you had 5 milligrams, the pill wasn't worth nothing but like $2.50. And the stories get better and better. I actually got a lot more group home stories. Like I was telling y'all before, it was a group home that was for the females next door, and those stories kind of crunk because that's where the sex kick in at, and they sneaking out, we sneaking out. It was definitely a little time to be had in the group home. It wasn't all bad, even though that situation was bad. It wasn't an all bad situation. I've always been the type that I adapt to my situations, and I can always make a bad time a good time. Straight up, like I'm gonna find a way to be lively always. But until the next time, y'all give me a like, subscribe, give me a comment. Let me know y'all like the stories, and I'll keep them coming.